Easy does it. These bitches ain't bustin' shit. These bitches busted. You know this box is like my watch. This shit flooded. What's the price? These bitches want it. Tell them up it. Without the money, I don't budge. What's the budget? You niggas gotta be on something. What's the substance? You hoes broke. Get the cane, get the crutches. I give them face, give them body, give them luscious. What's the price? Up it. I don't even know how I'm getting through the airport, packing around all this heat. I like my hair to my ass and I like my niggas down on their knees. Y'all hoes getting rolled like a chauffeur, fucking for cool points, nothing to show for it. He want a rider but ain't bought a car. How you expect me to show up? Holy man, I chase been dead for a long time. Face on the front of this paper. Ayy, this pussy bougie, this pussy choosy. Pussy don't do no favors. Every time I peep hoes moving like me, I gotta switch it up. But the shit don't never hit quite like this, cause your budget ain't big enough. Ayy, easy does it. These bitches ain't bustin' shit. These bitches busted. You know this box is like my watch. This shit flooded. What's the price? These bitches want it. Tell them up it. Without the money, I don't budge. What's the budget? You niggas gotta be on something. What's the substance? You hoes broke. Get the cane, get the crutches. I give them face, give them body, give them luscious. What's the price? Lotto.
Lotto don't do budgets. Talk shit like your buddy. Trip shot can't pronounce big jets to Phuket. I'm like, fuck you. Then that bitch ain't no discussion. Bitch, I'm no percussion. Back up, bitch, you buggy. Be the whole face, don't need no brush. Double D's in my brassiere. Face is top tier. First to watch my story, but don't like me. Bitch is weird. Known to stand on all my business. I don't walk around with tension. If you gotta make fake pages to say it, that's mental illness.
Easy does it. These bitches ain't bustin' shit. These bitches busted. You know this box is like my watch. This shit flooded. What's the price? These bitches want it. Tell them up it. Without the money, I don't budge. What's the budget? You niggas gotta be on something. What's the substance? You hoes broke. Get the cane, get the crutches. I give them face, give them body, give them luscious. What's the price? Ayy, bitch, I'm up in my bag right. Pussy in my abs tight. Always going up on my feet like a gas price. On these bitches throw till they get red out like the last flight. Wait, I dog these niggas had to be one in my past. Ayy, baby, without my name, these niggas nothing. They should thank me. I'm a gangster, but I'm such a fucking lady. In the mirror, and it's clear why they hate me. Up the price, pay me. Easy does it. These bitches ain't bustin' shit. These bitches busted. You know this box is like my watch. This shit flooded. What's the price? These bitches want it. Tell them up it. Without the money, I don't budge. What's the budget? You niggas gotta be on something. What's the substance? You hoes broke. Get the cane, get the crutches. I give them face, give them body, give them luscious. What's the price? Up it.
Still pouring up, pouring up, yeah. Still round the same hood, taking the same drugs. Call me finesse 2 times, ran off on the same plug. All my old hoes that stay down, they get the same love. He got rich for selling dog food, now he take the same drugs. Just put a beam on my Glock for my black eyes. Sick of fiends, just OD, they got the trap hot. When the ops don't shoot back, ain't even fun. I just seen Drake made the tough niggas around. Went in for a blick and I got another gun. PUA was straight, but I got another run. My killer stepping with a pep in it. Know some bitches screenshot and shit, so I never hit. If all the world had was some tricks, then I never sip. It's some fake steppers around this bitch, they inadequate. He taking drills just to heal like it's been a drill. My youngin' getting 40, nigga. What the fuck is 10 appeal? When it's get back, it's justified. He tryna get a pill. While that playing, put your jersey on, nigga, get in the field. I'm not a rapper, take that chain off. All I do is point it, little bro, gon' knock your brains off. Walk 'em down, jump up in the track, then we skate off. I don't want no Sprite, bitch, you know I like my drink raw. Nigga, if she a 10, I might just take a risk and fuck raw. My little nigga fighting a body, just don't call her upshot. All my bitches know they question me, they getting cut off. My little Wody thuggin' on the block, he got his shirt off. Still on that 4-5.
Copperhouse, Detroit's first bud and breakfast, a home space for consumption-friendly events and cozy accommodations. Get cozy and stay social with us. For booking inquiries, please email getcozy@copperhousedet.com. And for collaborations and partnerships, please email collaborations@copperhousedet.com.
My name is Donald Watts. I'm the Director of Internal Operations for DogHouse and Cannabis. And you're watching The Owner's Man.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Another installment of The Owner's Manual. I'm here with the Internal Operations Manager at DogHouse, former Dean, Donald Watts. How we doing today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I can't complain. You know, I like to say it's another day in paradise. Usually that means shoot me in the face, but the last couple of times I've been saying it's been for real. So I'm glad to wake up, glad to be here.
What's the highlight of today's paradise?
I would say just, really getting into the house buying process. I went and saw some stuff that I was, you know how you look at shit on Zillow, you get excited, but then you go there in real life and you either confirm your excitement or you're like, damn, that was a letdown. So both things happened today, but I was grateful for it. I was like, damn, I'm glad I didn't just buy that shit. So, I just enjoy the little stuff, it's a small win. So I was like, all right, cool.
And I just want to tell everybody, I always say it, but I'm very excited. This man is kind of the mind behind one of my favorite flower brands, and I just know that there's some game on this, so I was pretty excited. I have to, make sure I have all my ducks in a row. But Donald, tell me about yourself. Tell me, where you from, and how. Tell me about the origins of Mr. Watts.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in California. I say that. I lived in 12 different counties with 12 different schools in 3 different states growing up, but the most of the time I spent that I can remember it was in LA County, specifically South Central. I grew up on 57th and Hoover Street, right down the street from the Slauson Spot Meet. All the parts you hear about in rap songs. So it was I got a typical LA upbringing. If any of your listeners are from gangland, they'll know what that is.
So if you listen to Kendrick and Nipsey, you probably got a real understanding of how Donald grew up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about Good Kid, Mad City is that's what it's really like. Like, that shit was such an accurate representation. Like, I've heard those words. I've seen niggas get pressed just like that. It's crazy.
So, what's if you could bring a piece of what you remember about Cali to modern day Cali that's not here, what would it be?
Just the hustle. Like, LA's like New York. There's no, everybody's doing something. And the crazy part is everybody's great at something. It could be someone like millionaires ride the train in San Francisco, just like, in LA, just like they do in California. It's the same kind of vibe. Like, you never really know who you're standing next to, who they know, how much money they have, what skills they have, and to get by. I mean, in LA, you got to be excellent at something.
So, from LA, you live in Detroit. Have you always lived in big cities?
Ooh. No, I mean, I lived in, suburban communities. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's rural. I mean, I lived out in Victorville, kind of like the desert area, Palmdale, Lancaster in California. That's some people could consider that rural. That's it's, how they just build cities, places. That's just the city in the motherfucking middle of the desert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say I got a pretty good experience, some small towns.
Which do you prefer?
Ooh, I think for me, I think easily I can say I hate the fucking suburbs. I don't feel safe in the suburbs. I don't feel welcome in the suburbs. I don't choose to do things in the suburbs, and I for sure wouldn't choose to ever live in the suburbs. If it was just me my considerations were the only ones that matter. Like, I'm never gonna be like, yo, let's go get this nice ass home in this fucking brand new subdivision 40 minutes out of the city. Nah, hell no. I like being where it's happening at. I like being near sports stadiums. I like being near museums. I like being near parks.
Right. I always felt like, I felt lucky because we moved out to the suburbs when I was like 11, and like, I actually felt like, because I knew other kids in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? So like, I would like, go over to the night and shit like that. But like, the next neighborhood over, nah, I did not feel that same level of comfort. And it's so interesting how you can like leave, like what you think is the worst neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? You leave people that you identify with, and so it's like you move to somewhere where nobody looked like you, but the houses are just more expensive. So it's like, I mean, RIP, I'm on Arbery, but
you know what I'm saying?
like once we found out you can get killed for running, I mean, niggas trying, like, anxiety just went up, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you feel safer in the hood compared to the suburbs because it's like, niggas that got your back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my presence here isn't causing fear and discomfort type shit. Like,
right.
Like me, I was just talking to the homegirl about this the other day. We seen this man running down the block, just running, just minding his business. And like you just said, I was like, I used to dream about that. I used to dream about like, damn, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna put my little running shorts on, no shirt, nigga, and I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna get my miles in. Niggas gonna be looking good, gonna be feeling good. Nigga, I'm not running nowhere in this bitch in 2023 and beyond. I was like, damn, that shit must feel good to just know and in your heart, like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go on a run and everything is gonna be okay. I gotta worry about if some random bitch that I've never seen in my whole motherfucking life is gonna look out her window and be like, oh, he's running from something. Let me go ahead and call the police on this nigga.
Exactly. That is a fear that a lot of us have. And I don't even like listen to music in public. To be honest, like, cause that's like, I'm used to having my head on a swivel, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't imagine somebody trying to get my attention or like scream, that's him right there. I'm just.
You feel me? I'm in a whole nother zone.
Right, I'm not even worried about anything outside of right here. You know what I'm saying? So after that, like one earbud or like I listen to an extremely low, shouts out to the noise canceling motherfuckers. So you have the transparency mode on them hoes. So goes a long way, but like I said, keep your head on the swivel.
Straight up. So that's why I prefer the city for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel safer in diverse communities. You know what I'm saying? Even homogenous communities that look like me, and those places generally are not what we consider the suburbs here.
So when you was in the suburbs, were you smoking? Like, is that like, or did you get into weed before this?
Yeah, I think I got into weed way before the suburbs. You know what I'm saying?
So by the time you moved into the suburbs, you was already smelling like weed.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped, you know what I'm saying? I had to, like, it was crazy because, like, I smoked and then I didn't smoke and then I, you know what I'm saying, I could only, like, being in the hood, being in the city, being around people who are in your situation, like, we was all trying to escape shit. We was all trying, you know what I'm saying? We was all like, look, let's smoke this weed. But, like, you go hang out with some rich motherfuckers that got a motherfucking freezer full of Kool-Aid jammers and shit, and they favorite snacks, and they can ask their mommy to bring home some. Them niggas ain't trying to get high. They trying to go play with their new action figures. Like, we didn't have that shit. So when I went to the suburbs, I got like a whole new view on life. Like, wait, y'all niggas, it's almost like y'all happy to be alive and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all niggas look forward to coming home and shit. Like, there used to be a sense of dread for me. Like, damn, I'm trying to stay at school as long as I can so I ain't got to go back to this shit. Y'all motherfuckers is like, get me up out of here so I can go back, nigga. My bed is comfortable as fuck. It got the sheets that I asked for on them, nigga. I'm like, wow, like, damn, I guess we don't gotta smoke weed. And then they want to help you and welcome you in and shit.
It's just funny, like, I definitely went to school with people who had the same viewpoint because they knew that, like, the school environment was, like, way more productive than the home environment. So they wanted to spend as much time there after school. And then I had friends that would take school off because Call of Duty came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we for sure had no PS3 at the crib. Like, I had GameCube. Like, I remember when shit came out, it came out. But I had to wait until like my birthday or Christmas, you know what I'm saying? A reason to
get some shit.
Yeah, swear, you know what I'm saying? But like, low key, my mom is the queen of like, you know, Black Friday shopping, you know what I'm saying? Getting a discount and just like wait and shit. So a lot of the times I would like rummage,
have some shit, buy it.
December 14th, you know, geek as hell, you know what I'm saying? And then that bitch, I don't even gotta worry. Like, I'm still good.
I'm straight.
Right.
I'm good.
Because I would always stay up and be anxious. I wouldn't know. But I knew my mom would be like, she knew something was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't even excited.
Yeah, like, oh, this nigga about the gifts.
Right. So, this was like your first time smoking weed.
Oh man, that shit was crazy. It was like a classic. I think everybody's got that stoner story where they smoke weed out the can, or like a little foil pipe or some shit. Yep. So it was me and the homie Chris, and Chris was like, "Yo, trying to smoke some weed, fool?" You know what I'm saying? My little older SA homie. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 11 or 12. He's like 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Trying to smoke some weed, fool?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." So we go get some aluminum foil and shit. We make a little motherfucking pipe, and we get, it was straight. This had to be like motherfucking 04. So this was straight Cali stress, nigga. Like brown brick pack seeds, hurt to break it up, all that shit. That shit was gas though. I don't know if my tolerance was low or if the weed really was hitting hard as fuck back then, but so we broke that shit up and we smoked it out the little foil pipe. Shit burned in my throat and shit. I'm over here coughing and shit. Mind you, I'm like 4 foot tall, good 81 pounds, soaking wet. You feel me? So I'm hitting the weed and shit. We in his mom's Astro van, Ruthann. We in Ruthann's motherfucking Astro van, smoking weed and shit. And then the most tragic thing happens of all time. His mom opens the motherfucking car door. And I'm like, oh, nigga, I'm already paranoid and shit. So for me, this is like a vindication. I'm like, nigga, I've been telling you someone's coming. Right. You ain't been trying to listen to me. You been trying to tell me I'm paranoid, all this other shit. So his mom gets in the car and is like, are y'all fucking smoking weed? And he's like, yeah, man. So, you know, like moms and like parents in the hoods do, they like, yo, well, y'all niggas could be doing much worse. So whatever, we gotta go get your brother from Wendy's. So y'all coming with me because y'all niggas high. Right, y'all, I'm not finna just go sit and be some high young niggas. Y'all gonna get in trouble. So come on, we about to go get your brother from work. He at Wendy's and shit. We pull up to the motherfucking Wendy's. First of all, it's the dopest car ride I ever been on my whole motherfucking life, nigga. It's the dopest car ride I ever been on, nigga. The lights is dancing, nigga. It's great. We pull up to the motherfucking Wendy's and we get out and we go in. I don't know why they let me go in. We get out and we go in, and this nigga Art, Chris's brother, is the cashier. And me being high, I was not ready to see that shit. So I had a motherfucking laughing fit. I'm talking about couldn't breathe, crawling on the floor. It's 10 minutes before closing in the Wendy's. Some little black nigga just walked in here and started tweaking. Everybody in the motherfucking restaurant is like, yo, is that your people, bro? Like, is this nigga gonna order some food? Like, we gotta call the cops? Like, I'm losing it, bro. I'm like, this nigga, he had the headset on, he had the little motherfucking hat on, nigga.
So just seeing him in the moment just like set you off, like you just wasn't prepared to like have was you just prepared to see him like walking out?
Yeah, I was ready for that nigga to be coming out like in a hoodie or some shit. Like I wasn't prepared to catch that nigga at work. Like at 11, I don't think I had ever seen someone that I fuck with like that at work. You know what I'm saying? That might have fucked around a bit the first time. I'm like, you old job working ass. I'm 11, nigga. I don't know nothing about going to work and taxes and shit. Right. I'm cooking this nigga. He out here like, fuck you, bro.
So how old was the dude behind the counter? Was Chris's brother?
Yeah, he was probably like 16, 17.
You said that was older?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When you're that young, you know, like, I experimented involuntarily at that age, but then I didn't like start smoking until like 15, 16. But after that, what did it become like routine? Or did you have that gap period too? Until like, you know what, let me give this another try.
Nah, I was, ever since that moment, that experience, I was smoking weed heavy every day until I moved to the suburbs for real. Mm-hmm. Like until I had to get new friends who didn't get weed. Like I never had to get my own weed and shit. Like I brought different skills to the group. Like I wasn't a fighter or anything like that. Like I was little, broke as fuck, didn't have no money, wearing the same clothes type shit. But I had other niggas was funny, niggas was smart, all that type of shit. So they was like, yeah, let's smoke weed with this, like chill with this nigga. He's cool. So once I got new friends who didn't smoke weed, I didn't smoke weed. But every day that I was, for like 2 years, every day that I was with them, that's all we did was go on missions to get weed, smoke weed, and then do young high nigga shit.
So then you moved out to the suburbs, had to get new friends, and then you went to college. You had to get new plugs in college.
Well, I stopped smoking. I went to the military right after high school. So I stopped. I never smoked weed one day, one single time when I was in the military. I was like, I can't play with that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So, what pulled you? Like, what was that deciding factor for you to go to the military?
I just wanted to go to college. Like I got into every college I applied to. I had full ride scholarships, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, U of F, UNLV, all that shit. Because I was always a great student because I went to so many different schools and so many different places. I was eligible for so many different scholarships, but I just didn't have the support to get from like the house I was in onto a campus.
Gotcha.
Like no one in the houses that I was living in was like knew about FAFSA and shit. You go and ask your motherfucking 60-some-year-old grandma right now for her tax returns. Watch what she tells you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like I need your tax returns so I can get my FAFSA. They're like, nigga, we not what?
Right.
Better figure that shit out, nigga. So you know what I'm saying? That was the military. I said, well, I know I don't want to start working at Wendy's or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm gonna just end up trapped in this cycle. Like this is not a safe place to be. This is not a safe environment.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had 3 jobs at one point, and McDonald's was one of them, and I hated it. Like I was fighting for hours that I didn't even really want. I just wanted the money. So like I didn't get. So like it was like you knew you gotta, it's hierarchy, woo woo. So it was throwing me 3 hours a week. It felt like training like every week because I would forget shit. Right, I went 3 hours a day. That's enough time to watch a couple videos, read a manual, do some hands-on training, go home. You know what I'm saying? So like, never really worked like a full 8-hour shift. All the managers hated me. They thought I was doing like, how long has it been here for a whole month? And I'm like, this check says 9 hours.
What do you mean?
Like the bi-weekly. Like. What you mean? Like I would work 2 weeks and get enough for 1 week's worth of like gas. You know what I'm saying? So like I knew like the management felt like this place is not for me, like beneficially. Which I just tell everybody, this is a good starting point. Everybody can start something. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I need my coffee just as much as the next guy. So I'm not even gonna get into the weed just yet. Tell me about like after the military.
Oh yeah, hey. So I went back home to California, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I really knew to do. Like in hindsight, I could have done anything. I could have gone anywhere. I could have fucking expatriated and gone to live in Africa or Spain or, you know what I'm saying, any of the other 49 states in America. Right. But like I was like, I'm going back home. Going back home to California. So literally packed my car up. I was in Virginia and I drove that bitch and everything I owned.
That's where you were stationed at?
Yeah, that was my last duty station. Yep. So I drove that bitch right back to California, and I started staying with my folks again, just to, you know what I'm saying, try to help out, see, get back to being normal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Gotta adjust back to being a civilian and shit. Did that for a couple months, then I was like, all right, cool. Like, got my own place, enrolled in college, went to Riverside City College. Shout out to community college. Shout out to RCC. Enrolled there. Actually had a really impactful experience. Went on like this HBCU tour, and we went down to Louisiana, and we went to Dillard. We went to Dillard, Southern, and Xavier.
Time out. What's Dillard's?
Dillard is it's HBCU.
It's a HBCU. Okay. I low-key met a nigga named Dillard. And I was like, man, I shot up a fucking clothes store.
Dillard is for sure clothing store. Make no mistake about it.
I was like, do not. I was just
100%.
I was trying to make sure, like, Because I'm, so I
It's
was
the
doing
blue and white.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, time out. Like, am I making that up? Did I hear that somewhere? It's just like a memory trying to tap in with me. Like,
This nigga was like, is this the Mandela effect? Nah, so I went to, it was on one of those campuses, this black lady, shout out black women, this educated black lady came in and she gave me the undisputed game, bro. She was like, college is a tool. It doesn't matter if you go to Yale, Princeton, Harvard. If you just go there and you go to your classes, you pass your classes and you get your degree, that is useless. You have to use the tools of the institution. You have to get those internships. You have to make those connections. You have to get those references. You have to seek the real knowledge of the industry. Like, that's what you need. And having that experience, that's when I was like, damn, I really need to be like cognizant of like what I do next. And that's how I ended up, I enrolled at Cal Poly Pomona, and then I studied finance, real estate, and law.
gotcha. So you're big numbers guy.
That's me, man. That's my thing. It's money. Money is an interesting thing.
Were you the type to smoke before a test? Get that.
I'm gonna say this right now for y'all, Cal Poly Pomona, because you can take that paper back if you want to, if you really get in your feelings about it, right? But you can't take away what's inside my brain because that's already there. I was high every single. There's never been an instance where you have seen me, except when I was your dean, where I was not high. I was high every single test, every single class session, every single lecture, every single time I came to office hours. I smoked before I left. I smoked in the car before class. I smoked in the car between class. This was before like I knew about like pens and concentrates and shit. So I was actually just rolling up.
Gas.
I remember one time I walked in class, somebody was like, "Who smells like weed in here?" I was like, "Wait, can niggas smell me?" I didn't know that was like that's how high I was. That's how inundated in the weed I was. Like, I'm not even knowing I'm smelling like weed. I'm walking in the bitch, they like, oh shit, Donald's here. Well, we know Donald just walked in. One of my professors said that shit, I was like, hey, that nigga knew I was stoned. I was stoned as hell.
Man, so you could say like Kush was your cologne, basically.
24/7, 100%.
I think that is a great quality to have. I remember it was like welcome week. I was with my homies. We were at Central, and it was just being plugged up everywhere. Just constantly networking. I think that's like the great thing I like about college. But we hotboxed the car so bad, so where like when we went back to the dorms, like the whole floor was like, "Yo, are you about to get us in trouble?" And I'm like,
Yo.
And I'm like, "You already smoked it. I don't know what you're talking about. What did you mean? Like, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Where is it? You tell me where it is."
Like, really? Like, hey, find it.
Right. Yeah, you can find it. You let me know. Let me speak it outside. You see how long ago it is? Like at least like 8 months. You know what I'm saying? And just like photo sedan. Like,
Go ahead.
Like 3 of us. And like we was big on freestyle. So
Yeah, I think this is freestyle.
as long as you have beats, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody was going in. But you said that you went to school for finance. Was you one of the individuals fortunate enough to apply that degree into the field, or was you like just completely pivoted?
I got a hot second of finance experience. Probably like a year and some change. I was really good at it too. You know what I'm saying? When I was a mortgage underwriter, I felt like I was a really good one. Like I learned really quickly. I understood the systems, the rules, all that kind of stuff. That should just make sense in my brain. You feel me? Like some people could paint, some people could like turn a blank canvas into a work of art, or like turn a bound book of blank pages into like a work of fiction. Like for me, like the left side of my brain is just super on. Like patterns, numbers, all that shit. It just boom. It just happens for me. So I was in finance and I was killing it, but I wasn't getting that fulfillment. You feel me? Like I was like, damn, like if I keep doing this in absolutely no time, and I still feel this way today. I can go be a junior analyst right now at anybody's firm, and in 0 time flat, I will be a millionaire and a manager. Because it's like, it just makes sense in my brain. Like I said, like, I can't unlearn it. I can't unsee it. Like, if you put a balance sheet in front of me right now, if you put a general ledger in front of me right now, you know what I'm saying? You've seen it in the movies, like, where motherfuckers be writing shit on walls and shit. Like, that shit happens, like, fucking that in my head.
Yeah.
So I got to use it for just a little bit, but I didn't see a path to happiness. Like, I saw a path to wealth. I saw a path to what most people would traditionally consider success. But, you know, there's only so much time in a day, and therefore so much time in your life. So I'm like, well, if I'm doing this for 16 of the hours I'm awake, or 12 of the hours I'm awake, where am I gonna find the time for that happiness? You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I should take another opportunity.
No, I mean, it's like, life is definitely not about knowing what you want to do, but like figuring out what you don't want to do. You know, because some shit you just can't predict. You know, like, I got friends I grew up with. I remember being in high school. They had college plans, like 5-year plans after college, and I'm like, oh, good luck with that. And then now it's like, I salute them because they didn't do anything they wrote down. A lot of them smashed it. So it's like, just the ability to, you know above your head, but if it's a lesson learned, it's a lesson learned, and that's like, kind of my journey. But my question now is how you got into cannabis, like, professionally.
Yeah, so, you know, I left finance. I got recruited in education because, like I said, I was seeking that fulfillment. And then, you know, they explained the mission and vision of the school to me. And I was like, yeah, this aligns kind of like with what I was hoping to accomplish with my education in finance. Like, this is the demographic, this is the purpose, like, this is the way I want to impact the community. Like, I want to impact the way that young creatives, entrepreneurs, people who are going out here doing new things, I want to change the way they think about money. And the way that they access money, and the way that they view credit and access credit, because those are the barriers that are keeping real change from occurring. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing anyone can do about grassroots shit, right? We've been petitioning. That's my whole thing. Like, I want to arm the next generation of creatives with the tools that they need to get their stuff, their products, their services, their whatever to market, and maintain control. That way, when those things start to make money, they're the ones getting the lion's share of it. They haven't given away their equity for $2 million in startup capital or some shit like that. Like, they understand how to stay down, how to build, how to scale, how to get the right kinds of capital, how to leverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to do these things because, you know what I'm saying, there's a place. There's a place for them to come and get that support. So that was why I transitioned into education, because I was like, well, this is what I want to do with my financial knowledge. And if I'm the dean of students, like, every student will be influenced by what I say and do and think is important. So I interjected financial literacy in every opportunity that I got the chance to. Like, I talked to them in depth about their after college plans and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, especially after the pandemic changed everything, but especially education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the school I was working at was a brand new school, right? So I had 9th graders when the pandemic started. When the pandemic ended and we came back, those 9th graders were now 11th graders. But the last time they were in school was January of their freshman year, or March of their freshman year.
Right.
That gets really crazy when you start talking about who those 10th and 9th graders are, because I don't have 12th graders. Those 9th graders were my first students.
Right.
So here they are now in the 11th grade after just losing their whole high school experience, half of it to the pandemic. But my 9th and 10th graders, the last time they were in school, they were in middle school.
Right.
So now we're mixing all these kids with these wildly different experiences, because who knows what you've been doing during the pandemic. The data will tell you it's not logging in and going to class, though. And now we got to do social distancing. We got to keep the masks on. We got to do all this kind of stuff. And kids are still just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? Kids are going to be kids. That's cool. But the system was not ready. The system wasn't ready for the pandemic. It wasn't ready for post-pandemic. So I found myself breaking more and more of the promises that I made to like I said, I'm not an educator. These are the only students I've ever had.
Right.
This encapsulates my whole experience with education. So once I got to a certain point, motherfuckers was depressed, motherfuckers was not eating, motherfuckers was not working out, motherfuckers was just drinking, just coming home from work and just drinking Costco-sized bottles of liquor.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Because all I could do was work to try to keep the promises, and then you get to the end of the work, and you still broken. So, say all that to say, man hit me and was like, yo, how are you feeling? I'm like, yo, my mental health's in the trash. Like, I don't really feel like this is gonna work out. He's like, yo, just come check it out. You know what I'm saying? So I did, and that's kind of how I got into cannabis.
Growing up, what are some of like the biggest differences you've noticed from like Cali cannabis industry and Michigan cannabis industry?
I mean, it's night and day. You know what I'm saying? And it's only, I'm not gonna say it's only. I think it's in large part just due to the age. You know what I'm saying? Like the marijuana industry in California is much older.
Right.
It's much more refined. It's done all this stuff before. Like the fights that we're fighting, they already fought those in California. You know what I'm saying? They fought them and won and figured out how to win. So I think from that standpoint, like infrastructure and businesses and the number of firms and the types of things that firms are doing, all that shit has already happened in California. And that's why the cannabis market there is, quote unquote better. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, weed, I mean, okay, well, damn. Oh, that sucks. All right, so I'll tell you a story then. There's a strain now in California called BB Urkel.
BB Urkel.
BB, like BB gun, Urkel, like Steve Urkel. And this is bottom shelf weed. Like, that's where it is in the deli style jar. It's on the bottom shelf. You walk in, it's on the board for special every single time. 2 ounces, $85. $150 for $150 for the QP.
That's per purchase. You can get a QP per purchase?
Come back twice, you feel me?
Okay.
So they letting you know what it is. Being in college, you know what I'm saying? It's not that I was like, I was getting paid to go to school and I was working and shit, but I'm a financial person, so I'm like, right. I'm not about to just be out. Like, I did that for a while. Like, when I first got out, like, niggas was dropping just bread on weed. Like, I was the dude going to this dispensary, like, damn, that nigga spent $600. Yes. But then niggas got their heads together, you know what I'm saying? They figured it out. Niggas was like, okay, whoa, chill. It's not like I don't have any money. I just don't like how much money I have because niggas bought weed. So I was like, let me value shop a little bit. It might be some winners. Yeah. I remember the first time I got that BB Urkel. That's still some of the best weed I've ever smoked in my whole fucking life. I went back every single time like, yo, give me all the BB. Like, we start off the conversation with, give me all the BB Urkel you got right now. Like, I was on that shit tough for a year. They couldn't get me to buy nothing else.
Inventory check every time you walk in. Like,
if you got it, and like my favorite strain is Blue Dream. I love Blue Dream. I love Green Crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it is to like desire and love those beautiful, gassy, sweet strains, but there was nothing about BB Urkel that was fucking with those from a genetic level. I probably couldn't even, it probably wasn't even really that shit. Who knows what it was? That
you
shit.
Said it was bottom shelf,
bro,
the
bottom one,
and it
deli
was hitting like that?
Bro, cracking.
Better than your favorite.
Better than Blue. I couldn't buy anything else. I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna spend $60 on? It had me in the motherfucking string, a rear naked choke, dog. And I wasn't even tapping. I was like, I'm going to sleep, nigga. Fuck it, like, take me. Just take it. You know what I'm saying? And then I walked in and it was like, damn, like, they don't grow it anymore. It's gone. Like, that's when I stopped smoking BB Urkel. I stopped smoking BB Urkel when that shit stopped existing.
You put that strain to extinction?
I might have. Maybe, because you know what I'm saying? It wasn't boutique weed. It wasn't pretty weed. So I guess that's what I'll say about the industry. Like, you can go get some weed in California that doesn't look great at all.
But will it move, though?
But it will blow your socks off. And it will move. Because California, it's the same thing. Like, people in California care more about terpenes and natural flavors and the fact that it's fair trade and organic, and, you know, the garden techs are being paid a wage that they can live in the community where the fucking facility's at. That's only because the industry in California has 10, 15 years on the industry in Michigan. We're gonna get there. It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen. Like, this is business. Like, we're selling drugs for sure, but.
So when you say the people out there typically, care about like terpenes and other things, is there like a difference of what you see the other shopper care about? Like,
for sure.
Because like right now it's like we experience some bottom out natures. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stores are only worried about price. Is that like something that you've seen with Dog? Because DogHouse is premium. Like, but like I'm not even gonna cap like. I smoke concentrate, so I like the baller buckets because it's less packaging, but sometimes I get bored with it. I will pay for a few brands. This right here is something I will definitely pay for. And like I said, smoke some Zionks. Shouts outs to Breeze, because we at Hotbox Social. They got the free delivery here if you pull up. And we about to take a hit of my main man. I call this boy Tom Izzo because he is seasoned. Can you tell me a little bit about Zionks and why you chose this as the feature strain?
Yeah, man. So Zionks, I want to say it's Scooby Snacks crossed on Skizzles. SEK, it's a DogHouse exclusive. So, that's the thing that sets DogHouse apart from a lot of cultivators. A lot of people grow the same thing, cake runs, etc. But, Zionks is something that DogHouse, John, bred and cultivated himself all the way, to the seed level, you know what I'm saying, as far back as you can take it. I'm not a master cultivator or anything like that, but I know enough about the process to be able to respect propriety. So that's why, you could probably taste that gas right there, right?
I could, and that's the thing, like, it's impactful, like, I got some friends who I wouldn't even recommend this to because it would just give them anxiety. It's gas, you know what I'm saying? Like they and that's how I can direct friends. Try some with CBD. Like this is not your bottom out, not the deli style. My dream is to have a deli style vending machine filled with DogHouse. I just want to walk into the kitchen if I'm getting some cold cuts. And just throw it
Real
on my
quick,
weed real quick. I want to be like Tony Soprano with the gabagool, you know what I'm saying?
Gabagool. But really, really unique effects and tastes and terpene profiles. I'm saying that's flavor obsessed. That's one of the slogans of the brand, flavor forward, you know what I'm saying? And we get that just by being perfectionists, you know what I'm saying? We try to get the most out of every strain. There's a few strains that, everybody grows, but they all grow different. So we take that same care that the best people are using and just apply it to the stuff that we're doing kind of alone in a vacuum. And that's how you get those really, Ice Cream Freeze is another banger. Smacks, Scooby Cake on Mac one, that's nuts. Scooby Cakes itself is nuts. So, all the really dog breath. So there's a whole bunch of unique strains that, only DogHouse has, and that's why.
Would you say, you said the mission statement of DogHouse was kind of in that? Right?
In that vein, yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole story, you know what I'm saying? John started growing weed, the founder of the brand, started growing and cultivating to kind of help out one of his friends who was a patient. And he's like, I can't really find the right strain for me. And John's got that kind of brain. He loves problem solving. He's got a huge brain. He's got a great story if you ever get him on the show.
So you mentioned some unique strains. Was one of those your favorite strains? Well, you said Blue Dream, but what's your favorite strain right now?
right now we're actually smoking it. That's no cap. Like I have been smoking a ton of Zionks. It's. I mean, I like gas, right? I know Blue Dream and Green Crack, like those are my two favorite strains when I can get them. But like when I'm not smoking those, I'm not big into fruits and candies and sweet. Like I'm smoking GMOs. I'm smoking OGs. I'm smoking heavy indicas with a lot of gas. So that's what Zionks is for me. You know, this particular batch is 29%. I watched this one to go through testing and in the dry room and all that stuff, and we hadn't grown it for a while. You know what I'm saying? It didn't fall out of rotation, but it's just one of those strains that we were trying some new stuff, so we didn't cut clones for a while. And then I just remember it came back with a fucking vengeance. And I was like, is this Zionks? Like I remember I opened up the bag and it just smelled like diesel fuel. I was like, nah, that's the one right there. Before that though, I'm not even gonna hold you up. It was honestly Durban grapefruit. Durban grapefruit.
Where I'm at, the DogHouse sold out quick.
Yeah.
And like I guess I'm a concentrate guy, so when I smoke flower, like I like it to be premium flower, because like if it's blue, I'm gonna just take a dab and not worry about it.
Exactly.
Like, I've been in smoke circles where it's like everybody got something for somebody. The circle ain't me right now. We can take dabs, but yeah, it's really as you said, Blue Dream is the favorite of all time. Is to get that stamp like.
I mean, especially when it's grown right. I mean, it's unfuckwithable. I mean, if you've had some Blue Dream done right, it's euphoric, it's light, but you know what I'm saying? It's not a pillow fight either. Like you feel that shit in your chest, you feel it in everybody. You just want to, for me, Blue Dream just makes me want to create shit, just do shit, like do my homework,
Right.
Like do this outline, fucking write this workout plan, you know what I'm saying? That shit makes me want to, I'm going to the gym right now. Ooh, I'm about to fucking come up with a whole workout. Just be like, hell yeah, I'm about to go do that shit right now.
That's how my mom tells me when I give her good weed. She goes, I feel like I can create something. It's like,
Whoa.
but you said earlier your favorite thing about DogHouse was that nobody screams.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Yeah. Being, especially like, you know, I was thought about it even more so talking about like being in even like my childhood, being in the military, you know what I'm saying, being around young people in college, like, and then working in education, especially like I said, I wasn't a yeller. I'm not a disciplinarian. Like that's not how I communicated with my students. That's not how I communicate with anybody in my real life. Like I don't boss people around. That's not something I do. So that not being a part of my personality, it was just constantly something I was surrounded by. Like that's how other colleagues were. That's how my teachers were. That's how my superiors were. That's how my subordinates were. That's how people in lateral positions of authority were. That's how other students were. That's how some professors are. They yell, they scream, it's loud, it's aggressive, it's unnecessarily so, you know what I'm saying? And I've been in dangerous situations. I've been in wartime situations, you feel me, where the energy and the ferocity of communication is necessary because there's a lot happening. A lot's on the line. We bagging up groceries, nigga. What are you yelling for? You feel me? Like, nigga, we selling cars. Like, bro, we grading papers. Like, this nigga just, okay, he said bitch a little bit. Why are we, I'm just constantly surrounded by people who feel like raising their voice is the way to communicate their point. And I don't know. Maybe that's just my anxiety, but it disturbs me. I don't like loud noises. I don't like loud shit. Like, not like I can't go to the club or a concert or to a game. Like, I'm not saying that way. I'm saying that shit's loud for a reason. So I know that's about to happen, but like all that yelling and shit, it's just too much. Like, it slowly just erodes something in my brain and just makes me not happy. So being at DogHouse, like, that's not the vibe. That's something that I actually asked in my interview. I was like, talk to me about the culture here. Because I'm already in a fucked up situation where niggas is yelling at each other all day. So don't have me leave some shit. At least I'm used to these niggas and how they talking through this shit. Like, don't have me come over here and y'all niggas is calling each other all type of names and talking about each other all kinds of ways. It's just not, and of course it happens. It happens everywhere where there's people, but that's not a part of the culture. It's not a part of the fabric. Like, it's very much like, hey, what's going on? Like, let's try to solve this problem together. Like, do you need some support? Do you need some help? All right, boom, I got you. Oh, damn, did I fuck some shit up? That's my bad. You know what I'm saying? I probably was doing X, Y, and Z. How can I make it better next time type shit? Like, it's very communicative, teamwork, solution-oriented, and I just value that so much. I value that more than money almost at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to convince me to leave before you'd have to pay, before you could offer me a higher salary to go somewhere else.
Gotcha. You know, role as head of internal operations. What is your average day look like in DogHouse?
You know, it's pretty intense, but it's a lot of fun. You know, I do a lot of interdepartmental communication, so I might communicate with the trim team about the product flow, what's coming down, if there's any issues. I might communicate with the garden team about compliance, about, you know, supplies, about, you know, any sort of issues that might come up where they might need to let me know, like, hey, you know, we had this light go down, so we're gonna have a guy come in and do X, Y, and Z, so I gotta have you come, you know what I'm saying, just make sure you know. The sales team, I spend a lot of time in communication with the sales team. I manage the packaging team directly, the inventory and fulfillment team directly, so pretty much everything post-harvest, you know what I'm saying? Even upstairs in veg, I'll be communicating with the veg manager about plant tags and stuff like that. I actually got to catch up with him about that. You know, he's making sure that we're always in compliance, that everything's got tags when they need to, that everything's accounted for. So I spend a lot of my time doing that, doing metric things, doing things in the state compliance system. I do a lot of customer support. It's really important that for me, as an individual, that, you know, I do really high quality work really efficiently. And if there are mistakes made, that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm super accountable for them and that I make them right. So if something's wrong with your delivery or if there's something wrong with your product, I like to be the person, because, you know, the sales guys didn't make that happen. They made the sale happen, but, you know, who put what in the bag and how it got there, like, that's all on me. That's all on our team. So I like to get right in there and say, like, hey, you know, I apologize about that. Like, let me know what's going on. I'll fix it for you personally right now. You know, your next order, you know, we'll throw some samples on there for you guys, something like that.
Nice.
So it could be any of those things. It could be ordering Mylar bags, ordering packaging, ordering, you know, communicating with the design team about upcoming events. I do a lot of events and social media engagement, stuff like that. So I do everything that's an internal operation, you know what I'm saying? I try to support and assist with.
So if I had to ask the reason from switching, because y'all was in glass, switch to Mylar.
We actually have jars on the way. It's glass is a wild thing. You learn a lot of things about a lot of things when you start working in jobs. You know what I'm saying? And so there's only a few places in America that make glass, right? Because that's something that happens now in the third world, China specifically. So communicating with Chinese suppliers and getting the design right. This is like a pretty intricate one with the filigree in the back, and I've had so many conversations about the color gold and how it can appear on packaging, where there should be matte or gloss. Having those conversations not only across a language barrier, but across a significant time barrier.
Right. Are you up at like crazy hours?
No, I mean, I'm waiting on the emails back, you feel me? That's how you gotta talk to me. You can't talk to me on the phone. That's how, when you say some shit that I didn't hear or something, hey, I don't want no part of that. Email me, baby. CC everybody too. But we will have jars soon. We'll have jars before the end of April. But it's just, it's part of the industry. It's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted to use domestic suppliers for the quantities that we're getting and the complexity. I mean, they can't even make these graphics stateside. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you can get in contact with us. You can go to doghouse420.com, suppliers. But that's the biggest challenge, you know what I'm saying? Getting the design work confirmed and accurate, because, I mean, to see a sample, they either got to ship it from China or we got to trust the video. So This whole thing, but it's coming. It's coming. Jars are our preferred vehicle.
So yeah, preferred like device or agent being a glass. I mean, it's good for transportation though. For like people who want to take the macro pictures of the bud. You know, like they like have like demands like they're not gonna take pictures if it come in a mile or bag. That's just like appreciation to the quality because y'all be doing art, but like you know, in that growth. Yeah. So salute to y'all. But what's your favorite way to smoke? Like, do you like to hit the bong, roll up, like?
For me, it's probably gonna always be blunts. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I mean, it's just the culture that I grew up in. I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's the straight up. I tell look. So it's funny that you say that because I tell a joke all the time. I'll be like, that's the most African American thing about me, right? Is I'm rolling up a fat ass blunt. That's how I get down. That's what I be doing. I don't know why. I know I've rolled joints, fat ass joints. And I'm like, damn, this shit hits crazy. Like, I can understand now, like, why people only smoke joints. And then right after I put that joint, I'm like, man, I'm about to roll up a blunt. What is you niggas talking about?
What you want to do with that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, I don't discriminate at all. I do enjoy new experiences with marijuana too. So a lot of people are doing a lot of really cool shit. Edibles are getting off the chain. You know, people is making edible spaghetti now. That shit is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I need parts in that. Like,
my boy make edible chicken wings and shit. That should be going great. Whole infused soul food plates.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? So.
I need to line on that for sure.
Shout out Happy Treats Takeover 8788. But I try to keep my mind open with marijuana, especially being in the industry. You know, you gotta stay on top of stuff.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Frontos, backwoods, swishers.
Ooh. All right, damn. I'm probably gonna have to marry the Fronto.
Put a ring on it.
She gonna be there longer than the rest of them. It's only 2 swishers in that pack, and it's only 5 backwoods. They might not all be good.
Might not all be good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to fuck the backwoods because they might not all be good, but one of them might be hidden. And sadly, I'm gonna have to kill the swishers, even though they've been there for me forever.
That's the thing, you know. You definitely feel free to roll up some more, you know. Like
Yeah.
that's the prerogative. This pack is for the people. That's how I feel.
Sure we.
Look.
So fire. Let me break this one.
Shouts out to Archive. Shouts out to Josie. Shouts out to the Hash Bash Treasure Map. Oh shit. That was the free shit that came in it. I'm sorry, the free pack with Black Maple. That shit
We.
crazy. Got a free like 0.2 sample, and like that's pretty huge because they pretty expensive on the market, and like for a good reason. Like they top 2 and not 2.
That's kill.
Psych. Cannabis is number 1.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the gang.
Yeah,
Was you at Hash Bash?
Yeah, I was out there for a little bit. I don't do well in the rain and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting this bitch. So I had to wait for that rain to go cool off. Then I pulled up. I was there from like 3 to 5, 3 to 6. Pulled up at the DogHouse booth, said what's up, helped them pack up for real.
That's cool.
Support the crew. They was out there getting it though.
So I actually tried to get my hands on it, but couldn't. What's Crud?
Crud. Ah, damn. That's a collaboration with DogHouse and Sheefy McFly. You know, he came through. We cultivated his own strain for him. You know, if you're in the city, or you know, if you've been around for a while, you probably ran into Sheefy or something that he's done. So you know, he's just a real cool dude. He's got the DogHouse vibe. You know, authentic in the city. You know, I say this all the time. You know, I don't have a tremendous amount of my opinion only goes so far, but I think it's something to be said for the brand that we try to stay away from just like paying models. Right? Anybody can pay someone with 100,000 followers or 250,000 followers. Like, pay and say how much you like this brand, and here's the spiel, and come take pictures and pretend you fuck with us. But I'd much rather have an authentic connection, especially in the city. That's you have. There's no keys to the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need escorts. People have to walk you in. You can't Google it. It's not on Yelp. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sheefy's one of those people, and he authentically fucks with DogHouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a mutual collaboration. It's like it wasn't hard to make it happen, and that's why it happened. I think that's a lot to be said for who Sheefy is as an individual, his creative spirit, and just his attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, he respects, what they do in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have much to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel that everybody who's at DogHouse cares a lot about what they do for DogHouse. So
that's huge.
So that's what it is. I mean, he does the artwork. You might have seen the custom bag, and there's the cereal box. He did 4 custom stickers.
Is it sold out? Like, can you get it?
Okay, it's limited release. It's limited release.
Somebody might have to have a bad, unfortunate time for me to get some.
It's dropping in Grand Rapids next.
Okay.
So keep your eye out for that. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on Instagram, doghouse_MI. We shadow banned, so you got to go type that in all the way, and then click search. Actually search it, and then go all the way down. We right there. But that's what we'll post about vendor days and all that other stuff, especially the Crud releases and the Crud drops. Sheefy's, he's doing live paintings. He was at Hash Bash. They were at Hash Bash passing out Crud in the crowd. Like, he actually came out himself and did that. So that's the kind of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope. I'm mad. I messed up. That's all.
Next time we link up for show, I'm gonna have that Crud on me. Like I said, I was looking at houses before I came here. That's the only reason why I came slightly underprepared, but I got you for show next time, because it really is fire. It's gassy. It's a DogHouse exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Just like most of the strains that are out there for us. I really like it for like when I'm getting ready to do some nerd shit.
So you say nerd shit, and this ain't even really nerd shit, but I feel like it got that label coming up, and then it just became like crazy mainstream, and now you're weird if you don't know about it. But like, tell me, like, how you got into anime?
Oh man, hey, what? Anime? I don't know if people consider Pokemon an anime, but if you want to consider Pokemon, I would say that. But I would say, I think probably the moments that stand out the most in my mind is the first time I saw Gundam, the first episode of Dragon Ball Z I saw, of course, on Toonami after school, and actually the first episode of Inuyasha that I saw on Adult Swim. That shit, I was like, yo, what is this? And then after that, and then I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, once I thought Yu Yu Hakusho was it. Like, I was like, there's Yu Yu Hakusho, and then there's Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know that, like, all the shit that I was watching on Saturday morning was actually anime, like Card Captors and motherfucking Shaman King. It was just Saturday morning to me. But yeah, I've been watching it. I got into anime real early, I guess, if you consider Pokemon an anime, like I said. But if not, I would definitely say that first episode of Gundam that I saw on Toonami after school, like, that shit blew my mind.
I always thought like Adult Swim was a funny kind of concept. It was like, let's show, like, that's the thing. As I get older, I kind of forget it. Like, it went from showing like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends to like just
Robot
adult
Chicken.
shit. Yeah, like
Chicken.
Robot Chicken and shit like that. And like, I'm definitely shit for bad because my memory bank is bad. But pivoting, tell me the top 5 animes.
Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, all the way up until Frieza. No, all the way up until Cell. Baki the Grappler. Ultimate Muscle, super slept on. And number 5, I'm actually going to have to give it to a new one that I really, really enjoyed, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Now, one thing that has just been like a true inspiration to a person like me who got nominated for class comedian, always been good around people, but have always been conscious of being the center of attention. How'd you get a comedy?
Oh man, that's a good. I just started doing comedy this year. The January open mic at the Free Body open mic in January was the first time I ever got on stage ever in my whole entire life.
So you had never just held the mic and
never.
MC,
I never had a microphone in my hand. Never one time in my whole life ever.
Yeah.
And I go on rants on my Instagram all the time, and I have a lot of opinions about stuff, and people would tell me all the time, like, you should do a podcast, like, you're really funny, all this kind of stuff. And I just decided this year, like, I'm gonna take more chances. Like, I'm gonna do more things that make me uncomfortable. And and once again, shout out to Free Body for just making me feel safe. I was like, something that always held me back is I always felt like being a creative was something that I was not, because I was always better at stuff that weren't creative in nature. But you can just decide, you feel me? And that's what I decided to do. I got up there and I decided that I was gonna tell a story about 100% of the dick. So that's something that it's just something that I tell people, like, you cannot give out 100% of the dick the first time you sleep with a woman. That's a terrible idea, right? Because orgasms are incredibly rare for women, right? Like, women who have sex with men and only have sex with men and they don't masturbate, they only have a 34% chance of experiencing an orgasm in any one sexual encounter, right? That's a terrible chance. So if you come through not bullshitting, off 2 shots of Henny, going hard, busting all type of shit open, sucking toes, choking, lifting up, doing all type of shit, and she experiences her first ever orgasm, that's an unprecedented experience. She might do some unprecedented shit if you try to leave. Like, for you, that might have been a casual experience or a casual encounter. But that's like her first time having ice cream.
She been fucking for a minute, B, and never had an orgasm.
I would say.
So just shit like that, right? That's how
I would say my experience kind of counters that, because on the times where I really broke it off first time is like, I damn near got like a loyal servant. Like, you think I was like the mummy, like just turning niggas like.
That's not a good thing, bro.
I mean, sometimes you need legwork.
But what happened when you tried to leave, though? Talk about your exit from that situation.
You know what? I'll say this.
Look, you have to blink hard as hell.
Cause my eyes dry. I've got astigmatism. But I say this: the episode from Drake and Josh, where Drake was dating the teacher's daughter and she loved him, but she had a fucked up laugh, and he was trying to figure out ways to break up with her, because if he did, he would fail the class that he was in. So he found ways to like be a slob, like make himself unattractive to get out of this social agreement of this relationship. So and I'm not gonna say me, and I did, but all I'm saying is I took notes. Like, when I was young, I'm like, all right, but like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all cool.
Sounds a big job.
And I say this, shout out to respect to women too, we still do that, but I'm just saying, when the situation gets sticky, sometimes you just gotta move how you move. And the women do it too, and it's all respect to the game. I ain't got nothing that I wouldn't give to myself. But I remember you said when you was working in education, you like at the end of it, you weren't even like working out. Like, is working out something that like is close to your heart?
Oh, for sure. Working out, I don't want to say some corny shit like working out saved my life, but I think working out is a big reason for why I am who I am today. Because I say this a lot about going to the gym and strength, any sort of thing that's hard, that you are not naturally born with the ability, like the gifts. No one, regardless of what anybody thinks, no one's born strong. You have to train your ass off to become strong. And to become strong, you gotta spend, you spend so much more time being weak than you spend strong. You can lift weights right now like me for 10 years. I've been strong maybe for a year and a half.
How old are you?
31. So I'll be 31 in April. So I've been lifting weights. It's conquering those challenges, stepping up to that uncertainty over and over again, succeeding, setting a goal. I want to gain 20 pounds of muscle, or I want to lose 5 pounds, or I want to break this record, or I want to do this weight this many times for reps, and then doing it, like actually accomplishing it in real life. That is very powerful, right? That's why people who are accomplished athletes generally are confident, not only in their ability to be athletic, but in anything in general, because that's something that they've conquered. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, if I start running and I say I'm gonna do 15 miles, I've never done that before. I don't know if I'm gonna get all the way there. But they fucking lace them up and they do it anyway. Right? That's the same thing. I don't know if I'm gonna pass this test. I don't know if my business idea is gonna succeed. I don't know if they're gonna take this meeting. I don't know if they're gonna call when I answer. Like, that uncertainty stops bothering you at some point. Because you know, like, well, if I put the effort out there, I'm gonna get the results that I desire. So working out is huge for me. Like, whenever I'm alienated from that space, I start to suffer all around.
I saw that you do like a decent amount of like weight training and stuff like that, but how much of it is like cardio to like weight training and stuff like that?
It's a 100 to 0 split right now.
Right now?
Right, it's been that way for some time. Like, I don't know. I used to run. Cardio used to be something I do. I used to play basketball, all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, just not something I do now.
Gotcha. Now, ask another ranking question. Top 5 superheroes.
Damn. Fuck. Spider-Man.
Is that 5, or is there like just top 5, no ranking?
No ranking. Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor. Damn, I'm naming the Avengers. Trash. The Martian Manhunter, extra slept on, and Hal Jordan, the original Green Lantern. I fuck with Jon Stewart. Shouts out to Jon Stewart. But Hal Jordan was that fucking guy.
Like the OG character.
He was the Green Lantern. Like, Parallax, everybody got dealt with by Hal Jordan. This nigga became the White Lantern. Like, next level shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Facts.
So take what? You ain't taking shit, bitch.
So it was Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor,
Martian Man,
and Green Lantern. You got top 5 villains?
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, villains, like, look, they be sharper than their heroes. Like, sometimes it be some bullshit how they be losing.
Yeah.
Like,
I like villains who really get the fucking job done, like, who don't bullshit. Who really be getting, like, Kingpin from Spider-Man. Like, this nigga killed his aunt as soon as that nigga took his mask off in Civil War. He was like, oh, Peter who? Blow that bitch up right now. Run it. I have never forgot this nigga, dog. All the bread, nigga. I need it in blood, nigga. Nigga had to reset the whole universe because that one nigga wasn't letting it go. The Red Skull snuck into a prison and murdered Captain America because he was not playing with you niggas. Norman Osborn. Every single time Norman Osborn and Peter Parker have gotten into a one-on-one fight, Peter Parker has absolutely got his ass beat. Watch the movies, bro. That nigga was spit flying. getting drugged, bro. This nigga was power bombing him through the ceilings, bro. That nigga was like, mate, then he killed that bitch in front of him and was like, I keep trying to tell you it ain't a game out here, nigga. Then dipped off on his ass. Norman Osborn is a fucking savage.
So is that three?
Three. That's three. Thanos, of course. Thanos is out here getting the job done 100%. And I'm going to give you one from DC, Lobo. Lobo is actually a force of destructive nature who doesn't give a shit.
Who's fucking with him? Which was his protagonist counterpart?
Superman.
See, I know he not tapped in. I don't know who's Superman.
Yeah, I mean, Doomsday, if he had a brain, would be up there. Darkseid, Apocalypse, them niggas be on some conquer the world, but then they be still getting their ass beat. It's crazy.
Right.
I don't understand it.
Low key though, I was binging like the DC side of like HBO. They got some hard ass Justice League where it was Darkseid. He was like whooping their ass for like the whole movie, and they just came back and like stabbed the nigga in his eyes a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Sent the nigga to the optometrist. I was like, damn, like how he whoop y'all so bad? His eyes, like his son, he can't see y'all.
The Omega beams, that's it. Like once you can get away from the Omega.
It was like some crazy shit where he sent out like a signal beacon to like Earth, and it was like, oh, what is that? We should just go back and Cyborg hit like a mother beam, like a mother box, or something like that, and like beamed him out to like Darkseid's like
home planet.
Yeah, home planet.
Issue.
Yeah, and it was like a complete ambush, and then like it made Earth vulnerable, and then everybody got fucked up. It was like third world. He didn't turn Batman into his personal slave. Lex Luthor was the lackey. I'm just spoiling niggas and don't even watch it at this point.
He did all that shit.
Fucking them up. And then he just came back. He put a kryptonite heart in Superman. I mean, I don't know like how like once I saw him like, oh, the nigga's lost, I don't gotta watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
they done.
Right. It was just done. But like I said, sometimes it just be some bullshit. Like it just be like some just think like double agent type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Secret stab in the back ass. All right, fuck the season 8 of Game of Thrones. How about that?
Type shit. I got recently tapped into The Secret Life of Pennyworth or something like that on the Batman's Butler. Nigga was hard. How it like the HBO just basically made a story about how he met Thomas and Martha Wayne and the black scientist that
I haven't watched that shit yet.
It's cold. It's definitely cold. I will say season 5 get hard. I mean, I think it get repetitive in my opinion. Like, I just feel like there's so much conflict you can make in a certain time frame. You know what I'm saying? Of like them just meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Look, that's how I feel about that Air movie about. It's like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Marlon Wayans, Viola Davis, and they doing it about Michael Jordan getting signed. I'm like, I respect it. I'm probably not gonna watch it too. But like, how much drama can you really make out of this one incident in time? Where it's like it has to like be like more of a documentary where like they showing him at his great
something, right?
And then they just
can't be
like,
about a
counter
shooting.
back between like him just not wanting to be signed and then him being great. Like maybe like bow the head because like I don't know. But back on the DogHouse tip, is there any thing else? Product drops, events that the fans and cannabis consumers should look out for?
Yeah, I mean, 420, of course, look out for specials. We'll be running promos at all the dispensaries that we're in. Dally in the Alley, of course, we'll be doing that. Movement's coming up as well. So we'll be at, maybe Spark in the Park. So look for us at all those events. We're doing Swerp Fest as well this year. That's a festival out over by Romulus, over by the airport. Ember is actually going to be performing there, Ember LaFiala. So, I mean, that's the big stuff. New products, Crud, like I said, keep looking out for the Crud drops. Grand Rapids is up next. I think Ann Arbor's after that. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want the Crud, definitely go to your dispensaries, let them know. They can get boxes if they place those orders. I mean, that's new products. I don't want to say too much. But I did do some work around some new infused products and new concentrate products. So look for us to be cracking into that space.
Thank you for the people like me. I was about to just lead into that. I was like, for the concentrate people, because I do know I have seen the DogHouse sticker on a couple very quality concentrate brands.
Yep. You might have seen us. We did a Fifth Age collab. We worked with Culture Complex. We worked with Gold Crown. All that stuff's really, really great. We're trying to work out now with Gray Matter Extracts. They're a new company and they got a great reputation so far in the industry. So we're trying to work something out with them. Like I said, I don't want to say too much. Don't want to speak above my pay grade or anything like that. But definitely a lot of new products coming. Like I've personally done the work to like try to organize and get the packaging and stuff like that together. So like I said, look forward to some new stuff in the concentrate space. We got the new Star Dog pre-rolls as well. Dry sift hash infused pre-rolls. Those are out now. It's a dry sift hash, so it's like keef infused pre-rolls. Super fire. We did a lot of R&D. We did a lot of work. Shout out to the packaging team. They hit great. I mean, I don't even really smoke pre-rolls like that. I'm not gonna hold you up. I really only smoke DogHouse flower. But when we were testing these pre-rolls, I was like, this shit hits like a blunt. Like everything, all the reasons I don't like smoking joints, I like smoking Star Dogs. So we've been doing a lot of good work, and it's about to come out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of new markets are opening up, so look for us in Traverse City when that goes live. We'll be trying to get out there and do as much out there as possible. Of course, you know, the city just went rec as well. So, you know, live in Detroit, we're in Cloud in Detroit, we're right here in Quality Roots in Hamtramck, we're right here in Shango, we're right here in all these other places. So we do vendor days all the time. Follow us, you know what I'm saying? Keep your eye out. So that's what I would say. A lot of new stuff, just keep your eyes peeled.
Cool. Well, thank everybody for tuning in to a dope ass episode of the Owner's Manual. I'm here with Donald Watts, the internal operations manager at DogHouse. Follow me on all platforms at SoSwade, SILK, SWADE. And we'll catch y'all next week.